Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Doug and I'm back with another fountain pen review. Thank you for watching and supporting my channel by liking and subscribing. Your support allows me to continue bringing you fountain pen reviews that are just my unsponsored opinion, along with some random cutaways and a few dad jokes. This will be my 10th video about the Penbbs 456 vacuum filler. This brand new Penbbs 456 Galaxy is my fourth 456 and is the one I've been waiting for since I purchased my first clear glass version a year and a half ago. At that time, this clear glass 456 was only my third pen from Penbbs, and now I own over 20 of them. I'm on record numerous times claiming the 456 vacuum filler is the best pen that Penbbs makes and one of the finest fountain pens for the money on the market today. Since my first Penbbs fountain pen, I've had a bit of a fever for finding my favorite finish among their hundreds of different acrylics. And I've discovered that over the last year and a half, although my beloved Amber as a Cat has been close to my heart, my favorite acrylic finish of them all has to be Galaxy. After getting this clear glass 456, I had been hoping and waiting for Penbbs to release the 456 in both of my favorite finishes, Amber and Galaxy. Well, just before Christmas, I got my wish when I got my 456 Amber as a Cat. And this pen made my top 10 list for 2020. But my holy grail model and finish had still not arrived. I bought it on December 6th, and it finally arrived on January 5th. I'm going to put this 456 Galaxy up against all my other Galaxies right now. So now I know why my 456 Galaxy hung around in Calgary for an extra week or so, because it got sent to the extra special Canada Post stamping department. For special treatment. So this package is just large enough to want to get stomped on. So let's send it to the extra stomping department and give it some extra special, free and gratis treatment.
Yeah. Drop the turkey. Drop the...
By Canada Post. I should not tease them because they all work very, very hard. But let's see whether my Grail 456 has actually survived. No cat stickers.
It's getting so you can't tell his speech from the alleys.
And here we have a 456 in Galaxy in fine. Yay, it's the right pen. Another sleeve. And presto.
And now...
Hey, Rocky! Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat!
But that trick never works!
This time for sure! Presto! Well, I'm getting close.
Penbbs. Looks like Claudia was right. Everybody is getting the same kimono. I was lusting after this kimono when other people were showing theirs. It is just gorgeous. It's a almost peacock blue kind of color, which will go very nicely there. And inside we have, of course, our filling instructions, which I use these for bookmarks. They're just the right size. Let's look. Well, sorry, you ASMR fans. This is a very heavier plastic, so it's not crinkly.
And one. Close your eyes.
But there we are. And there it is.
And there he is, Red Ryder himself.
Wow. Okay, I'm very pleased with this acrylic. It's always the luck of the draw. But this has some incredible chatoyancy and sparkle to it. That is amazing. Ooh, and the section has a nice bit of sparkle there as well. And some chatoyancy. Beautiful nib. Well, that's interesting. Some things just fall right off, don't they?
No, God!
Yeah. Looks like we're going to have to do some crazy glue work. I don't want to send it back to China.
Get out.
Get out.
Looks like mine is busted. Just the tail fell off.
Why? Well, some of them are built so the front doesn't fall off at all.
Well, wasn't this built so the front wouldn't fall off?
Well, obviously not.
How do you know?
Well, because the front fell off and 20,000 tonnes of crude oil spilled into the sea caught fire. It's a bit of a giveaway. I just like to make the point that that is not normal.
That just screws right back on there again, but I might have to glue it.
Well, the front's not supposed to fall off for a start.
And what other things?
Well, there are regulations governing the materials that they can be made of.
What materials?
Well, cardboard's out. No paper, no string, no sellotape.
Rubber?
No, rubber's out. They've got to have a steering wheel. There's a minimum crew requirement.
What's the minimum crew?
Oh, one, I suppose.
That just reminds me of a joke Rodney Dangerfield used to tell. He'd say, I woke up this morning, I reached for my briefcase, and the handle fell off. I'm afraid to go to the bathroom. Into everyone's life, a little rain must fall.
So what happened in this case?
Well, the front fell off in this case by all means, but it's very unusual.
But Senator Collins, why did the front book fall off?
Well, a wave hit it.
Is that unusual?
Oh, yeah. At sea, chance in a million. No, it's been towed beyond the environment. It's
Yes,
not
but
in the
into it.
environment.
No. Well, what's out there?
Nothing's out there.
Well, there must be something out
There
there.
is nothing out there. All there is sea and birds and fish.
And?
And 20,000 tonnes of crude oil.
And what else?
And a fire.
And anything else?
And the part of the ship that the front fell off. If we're out of time,
Yeah.
Can you book me a cab?
But didn't you come in a Commonwealth car?
Yes, I did. But
What happened?
the front fell off.
On the whole, I'm very pleased. We'll clean this out and do a full review and comparison with my other Galaxies. So what I'm going to do today is take a look at my entire collection of my favorite acrylic finish, Galaxy. And I'll also put this new Galaxy 456 through its paces. I'll show some measurements and size comparisons and then provide a writing sample. After the writing sample, please stay tuned as I will talk about what I like and what I don't like so much about this fountain pen. In the unboxing, you notice that the box was nicely squashed. Thank you, Canada Post. All part of the free service offered by Canada Post. And you'll also notice that the piston knob fell off. Here's an update on what I did to fix it. I'm going to demonstrate on my clear glass so you can see. I withdrew the piston without the knob being on, of course. And then I put an elastic around the rod to hold it tight. And then I screwed the cap back on that piston rod. And I turned it as tight as I could. Now the knob will not unscrew as it spins as it should normally. If you look down inside that cap on the piston, you'll see how Long has designed this acrylic knob end of the piston rod. The acrylic has a tapering screw thread that gets tighter as you turn it. It locks on the end of that thread, and then the whole thing spins freely. If you look down inside there, you can see that there's a way to get a tool into those slots right there. Hold it tight while you unscrew the cap if you ever wanted to get that acrylic cap off the end of the piston rod for any reason at all. Now that it is firmly attached on the end of this Galaxy, I have no need of doing that at all. Let's compare this new Galaxy 456 with my other three. Here they are in order of acquisition. I got this clear glass version back in July of 2019, and it has been through the wars. I dropped this pen from about 3 feet onto a carpeted floor, and it broke right here.
What?
Here's the original barrel, and that's where it broke, right there. This is a natural weak point in these pens. The metal thread unit here is heavier and denser than the lighter, more fragile acrylic of the rest of the barrel. This is where it will break if it's going to break. I tried to fix it with some crazy glue, but it isn't a great fix. So I contacted Biney of the official Etsy shop, and she sold me a new barrel for $8 US. It was a bargain. The next 456 was this Niangao. This was a birthday gift to me from pen friend Claudia of Bauer Inks in Toronto. At the beginning of December, Penbbs released a new batch of 456s in many different finishes, including this Niangao. Until then, these Niangao first generation were as rare as hen's teeth, and Claudia's gift was extremely generous. This is an awesome pen that writes beautifully. My third 456 was this Amber is a Cat. This finish has the functionality of the clear glass in that you can see what's happening with your ink, but it's also a stunning acrylic and one of the most highly sought after acrylics by Penbbs. The Amber is a Cat models sport a unique paw print nib, but this one doesn't, because my paw print Amber 456 was a medium and I like the fine better. The nibs on these pens are dead simple to change out just by unscrewing the nib unit. Now let's look at the Galaxy 456 for a moment. This model of pen checks all of my boxes for being one of the finest writing instruments I own. Its overall look with the tapering finials, but flat top and bottom, the 1 1/4 turn cap opening, the hourglass section made of the same acrylic, the feel and balance of the pen in the hand unposted, and the deep, secure posting that doesn't backweight the pen. Also, the large ink capacity and easy to use vacuum filling system. The way the section can be removed and how the piston mechanism can be easily taken apart for cleaning and maintenance. Pelican and Visconti could learn a thing or two here. So could Leonardo, for that matter. The shut-off valve that allows you to close off the section from the ink supply to keep the pen from ejecting ink due to air pressure or temperature changes. Some people say, well, I don't travel, so I don't need that feature. But do you put your pen in your pocket or leave it on your desk under warm light, perhaps? That causes the air in the chamber to heat and expand and inject ink. The shut-off valve will save your shirt or your pants pockets or your briefcase in your hands when you uncap a warm pen. The beautiful two-tone number 6 size steel mini Fude nib and the fact that they are easily swappable with other Penbbs nibs at very low cost, or that most any number 6 size nib can be friction fit, are definite pluses. The weight and the length, the balance, and the ultra smooth wet writing experience make this the best pen that Penbbs makes, in my opinion. And now, of course, it is in Galaxy, my favorite finish. This was going to be my best Penbbs pen of them all. That was, of course, until the end fell off. But that was an easy fix. What is more important than everything is how it writes. So I was a bit on edge when I first inked up this pen, hoping the nib was going to be a winner. So far, of my over 20 Penbbs pen purchases, over 90% of them have been good out of the box. Almost all of them need to be made slightly wetter for my taste. So I inked this pen up with my favorite ink, Iroshizuku Konpeki, and I tried it. And here is how it wrote out of the box on January 5th. See, this is pretty typical right here. Fairly dry. Penbbs designs these nibs to be dry like this. Eastern calligraphy writers, Penbbs's principal market, prefer dry, fine writers. Plus, it's easier to make a pen wetter than it is to make them drier, especially on Penbbs nibs. So look here. This is where I press the nib into the paper with gentle pressure 7 times. And this is how it wrote immediately afterwards. Very wet and smooth. And I wrote that line there within seconds of doing that. So this is the first marks out of the box, my 7 strokes, and that's the way it wrote. Just that quick and easy. I now prefer this method on Penbbs nibs over my previous method of flossing the nib with a spark plug gapping tool. I'll do a full writing sample with this pen later. But now let's look at my collection of galaxies and determine which is the finest galaxy in the galaxy.
And I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
I have 7 pens in the Galaxy finish here. I had 8, but I gave my Penbbs 500 Galaxy spring filler to my son for his birthday. I'll put them on my stand for a better look. So here we are with the Penbbs 456 Galaxy, with a Moonman M800 Galaxy, a Penbbs 355 Galaxy, a Penbbs 487 Galaxy, a Penbbs 480 Galaxy, a Penbbs 308 Galaxy, and a custom turned Michel Paquette kit pen in Galaxy. Let's see them posted. Now here they are posted, and you can see they're all number 6 size steel nibs. You can also see that the M800 Moonman has a Penbbs nib on it. This nib was a gift to me by pen friend Luc Moreau of Quebec, Canada, and until I received this 355 and this 456, the Moonman with the Penbbs nib was the best Penbbs nib in my collection. All 3 of these pens, the 456, the Moonman M800, and the Penbbs 355, are now tied for the top. The 456 Galaxy was $41.98 when I got it on Etsy, and is now no longer in stock at the Penbbs store. I've seen some available at higher prices on eBay. If you can get these pens when they are briefly in stock at the official Etsy store, that's when you should pounce on them, because that's when they are at the lowest price. Penbbs makes these pens in batches by model and finish. Once they've made a model with a range of different finishes and nibs available, they will move on to another model and range of finishes for that model. They never make them in batches of thousands of pens, they make them in batches of 100s of pens. And they sell them to Eastern markets as well as the West. That's why you'll see eBay and Alibaba and Taobao have these pens for sale after they are sold out on Etsy. But they'll always be higher priced outside of the Penbbs Etsy store. In fact, it's fascinating to watch how quickly a model and finish will get posted with a 10% markup right next door on Etsy in Sally's Easy Buy shop the moment they sell out on Viney's official Penbbs shop. All hail free enterprise.
You and I are both businessmen who work hard and pay taxes. Except that I make 10,000 times what you make.
Yeah, we're the same, you and me.
One of the questions that always comes up with a vacuum filler that is opaque, like this Galaxy, is how do you see what your ink levels are, and how do you control how much ink you've got in the pen, because you can't see through it like you can through the clear glass or the amber as a cat. So I thought I'd demonstrate what I do and why I'm not afraid of this opaque Galaxy finish. So let's do a little bit of a fill here. This pen is already full, but I'll empty it and I'll fill it back up again. So we unscrew the knob and we pull the piston back. Of course, this is full of ink, and I'm going to push it down to expel the ink. There we go. Now we're going to pretend it's empty, and we draw the vacuum back, dip the pen into the ink all the way up to the section, and we push the piston rod down. We hear bubbling, and then we leave it there for a second to allow the ink to flow up. Of course, I can't see it. Now I'm going to draw the rod back down again with the nib pointing up. So now the rod's all the way down again. And then, I think I'm going to close up on this. I push up on the rod while keeping the nib vertical until I see drops of ink starting to form at the section. There. You see that? So that's pushed all that air back up towards the nib. Now I'm going to turn, holding this rod from bouncing back because there's a vacuum setting up there. I'm going to turn it back over, put it down into the ink, and push the rod the rest of the way and let it sit for a couple of seconds. Then I can go ahead and wipe off my nib, close up my ink. Now, how can I tell how much ink I've got in there? Well, if you really want to know how much ink you've got there, and I've done this with the clear glass, so I know that that is giving me quite a good fill by doing that technique. So I'm pretty full already. You can also unscrew the section. It's just like having an eyedropper, and you wanted to check your ink levels on an eyedropper that was opaque or without an ink window. You just look down inside and you say, oh, I got lots of ink. And then you can put it back together again. I always use a Kleenex for the last bit in case any ink has been squeezed out. There. And there you have it. How not to be afraid of your opaque vacuum filler. So let's look at some measurements of this pen, and then I'll be back with a writing sample. And we're back with the writing portion of the review. This is Clairefontaine 90 GSM paper, and this is the Penbbs 456 Galaxy. And it has a fine steel nib. And the ink today is Iroshizuku Conductor. Let's check the wetness. As I showed you earlier, this is not how this nib wrote out of the box. All I did was push on it gently 7 times in a downstroke, and this is how it came out, and this is how it's staying. Here's the swatch for Iroshizuku Conductor with Robert Oster Blue Water Ice and Iroshizuku Amairo. The difference I've found between these two Iroshizukus is that the Conductor dries a lot darker into these shades, whereas the Iroshizuku Amairo ends up being this light turquoise. As to line variation, these nibs are stiff, so don't even try to flex them. So they're stiff as nails, so don't expect any bounce or flex. But because this is a slightly upturned tip nib, like the Waverly nib, or what I've been calling a mini Fude nib, it has some character to it. So your horizontal lines are going to be slightly thicker than your vertical lines, just slightly. And the writing experience is just a little bit different than a round-tipped pen. Comparing this line to my Richard Binder chart, it comes out at 0.5 millimeters, which is a Western fine, or a Japanese fine to medium. And for our quote, and some reverse writing. It is actually a lot thinner, and it doesn't dry out. Again, it's the luck of the draw with reverse writing on these pens, but this one works fairly nicely. And some quick writing. No issues whatsoever. That flows very, very nicely. So what do I like and what do I not like about this fountain pen? Well, this is easy. What I like? Everything. And what I don't like? Nothing. So that was easy. Which of the galaxies is my favorite? Well, this is more difficult. I can rule out the kit pen, very nicely turned, but it is a kit pen and not all that comfortable to write with. I can rule out the 487. It is a magnetic piston filler. It remains uninked, as the magnetic piston filler is a pain in the ass and quite a gimmick.
But you gotta get a gimmick if you wanna get a hand.
The 308 and the 480 are beautiful cartridge converter pens, but don't have the heft of a 456 or a 355 or even the M800. I can rule out the 355 because although it posts, it becomes super, super long. And that leaves the M800 and the 456. And from here, I just can't decide. They are equally wonderful pens. The Galaxy 456 is now my favorite 456. The nibs on both of these pens are superb. I adore how the Moonman M800 fits in my hand with that extra girth given the arthritis and trigger finger that have crept into my right hand. But the 456 is a truly satisfying writing experience. It holds a lot of ink, has a shut-off valve, and that section is just as comfortable can be. So there you have it. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to get instant notifications whenever a new video is posted. And that just leaves it for me to say, thank you for watching. And that's all she wrote.